Hello kings and queens, welcome back to the channel. So in this video we are going to discuss about how to solve the transportation problem using VOGELS approximation method when the values of row. Let's start with the solution. First let's read the question. Solve the transportation problem using VAM. So VAM is nothing but VOGELS approximation method. So using VOGELS approximation method we are going to solve the transportation problem. So let's start with the solution. Okay, so these are the amount and these are the product PQR and ABCD is a destination. So this is supply and demand. So the first step is to find out whether this is a balanced problem or unbalanced problem. For that what we have to do is we have to see whether the total demand and the total supply are equal. So let's see. So total supply is equals to 30 plus 50 plus 20, which is equal to 100, and total demand is equals to 20 plus 40 plus 30 plus 10, which is also equal to 100. So the total will be 100. This is a balanced problem as the supply and demand are equal. So this will be the first step. And the second step in the VOGELS approximation method is to find out the difference between the least value. Okay, so first let's take this row. In this row, the first least value is 1 and also 1. So the difference between 1 and 1, we have to see the difference between 1 and 1. 1 minus 1 is 0. Next, the least value among 3, 3, 2, 1 is 1. And the second least value is 2. So 2 minus 1 is 1. Next, 4, 3, 5, 9. In this, the least value is 2. And the second least value is 4. So 4 minus 2 is 2. So this is what we call as row penalty. And this we call as column penalty. So we are done with the row penalty, that is 0, 1 and 2. Now we have to proceed with the column penalty. So in this column, the first least value is 1 and the second least value is 3. So 3 minus 1 is 2. So in this column 2, 3 and 2, the first least value is 2 and also again we have 2. So 2 minus 2 is 0. And in third column, the first least value is 1 and the second least value is 2. So 2 minus 1 is 1. In fourth column, the first least value is 1 and the second least value is 4. So 4 minus 1 is 3. So we got the values of column penalty as well as row penalty 0, 1, 2, 2, 0, 1 and 3. Among this, the greatest value is 3. So when we compare to all the values, row penalty values and the column penalty values, the highest value is 3. So I will select this column for allocation. So for allocating, we have to see the least value here. So among 4, 1 and 9, the least value is 1. So I will select this cell for allocation. For allocation, we have to see the supply as well as demand. So the demand is 10 and the supply is 50. So among 50 and 10, the least value is 10. So I will allocate this 10 and I have to deduct this 10 from 50. So 50 minus 10 is 40. 10 we have given. So we have to strike off this column, as we have given all the demand. Okay, so we are done with the second step. Again, we have to follow the same step throughout the problem. So first, let's identify the row penalty. So the remaining values in this row is 1, 2 and 1. So the least values are 1 and 1. So 1 minus 1 is 0. In third row, the values are 3, 3 and 2. The first least value is 2 and the second least value is 3. So 3 minus 2 is 1. In third row, the first least value is 2 and the second least value is 4. So 4 minus 2 is 2. Okay, so this is the values of row penalty 0, 1 and 2. Let's see with the column penalty. So in this column the values are 1, 3 and 4. So the first least value is 1 and the second least value is 3. So 3 minus 1 is 2. So the first least value is 2 and the second least value is 3. So 3 minus 2 is 1. So in this 1, 2 and 5, the first least value is 1 and the second least value is 2. So 2 minus 1 is 1. As we have strike off this particular column, so there is nothing to calculate the difference. So it is a nil. So the values which we got from column penalty and row penalty is 0, 1, 2, 2, 1 and 1. So among this the greatest value is 2. But the problem is we have 2 in both the side, that is column penalty as well as row penalty. First what we have to do is we have to select the highest value in row as well as column penalty. So in row the highest value is 2 and in the column the highest value is also 2. So when I start the allocation in this row, the least value is 2. Let me mark that. And when I select this column, the least value among 1, 3 and 4 is 1. So it's a time to decide where I have to allocate, which cell I have to select. So we have cell 1 and also cell 2. So among 1 and 2, the most least value is 1. So I will select this cell for the allocation. Okay, once again I will repeat. So we have the same highest digit in the column penalty as well as in the row penalty. So first I will select those values. So when I take this column, among 1, 3 and 4, the least value is 1. And when I consider this row, the values are 4, 2 and 5. Among this, the most least value is 2. So I have to compare these values 1 and 2. So among 1 and 2, the most least value is 1. So I will select this cell for allocation. So when I select this cell for allocation, let me circle here because I have selected this column. So I will select this particular cell for the allocation. I have to see the demand as well as supply. The demand is 20 and the supply is 30. So the least value is 20. I will allocate this 20 and I have to deduct that 20 from 30. So 30 minus 20 is 10. As I have given everything here, I should strike off that particular column. I will strike off this. Okay, next we have to continue the same step. Okay, among these remaining values are 1 and 2. So the least value is 1 and the second least value is 2. So 2 minus 1 is 1. And in this the first least value is 2 and the second least value is 3. So 3 minus 2 is 1. And among this the first least value is 2 and the second least value is 5. So 5 minus 2 is 3. So this is about row penalty. When we come to the column penalty, we have given everything here. So I have striked off it. So it is nil. And in the second column, the least value is we have 2 times 2. So 2 minus 2 is 0. Among this, the first least value is 1 and the second least value is 2. So 2 minus 1 is 1. As I have striked off this also, it is a nil. So the values which we got from row penalty and the column penalty are 1, 1, 3, 0 and 1. Among this, the greatest value is 3. So I will select this particular row for the allocation. So the values which are remaining in this row are 2 and 5. So among this, the least value is 2. So I will select this cell for allocation. As I have selected this cell for allocation, we have to see the demand and supply. So the corresponding demand to the 2 is 40 and the corresponding supply to this cell is 20. So among 40 and 20, the first least value is 20. So I will select this cell for allocation 20. So as I have given everything in this row, I will just strike off this and I have to deduct that 20 from 40. So 40 minus 20 is 20. As I have given everything in this row, I will just strike off this particular row. Okay, same, we have to repeat the same step again. So the remaining values are 2 and 1. The least value is 1 and the second least value is 2. So 2 minus 1 is 1. And in this, the first least value is 2 and the second least value is 3. And 3 minus 2 is 1. So we have strike off this row. So we have to write it as nil. So when we consider this column penalty, we have strike off this particular column, so it is nil. So when we consider this column, the values are 2 and 3. So 3 minus 2 is 1. So in this column, the first least value is 1 and the second least value is 2. So 2 minus 1 is 1. Here this column is also nil. So we got the values of row penalty and column penalty 1, 1, 1, 1. So again we have to repeat the same procedure. So when I consider this one, so the values will be 2 and 1. So the least among this is 1. Okay, so when I consider this one, the values are 3 and 2, which is greater than 1. So I will not select anything here. When I select this one, among this value, so the 2 and 3. So among this, the least is 2. But when compared to 1, it is greatest. So I will not select anything here. So when I consider this one, again we will get the value 1 and 2. So among this, the least value is 1. So by considering all the values, the most least value among this will be 1. So I will select this 1 for allocation. So we have to see the demand and supply. The demand is 30 and the supply is 10. So the least is 10. I will allocate that 10 here and I will deduct the 10 from 30. So 30 minus 10 is 20. As I have given everything here, I will just strike off this row. Okay. So the remaining values are 3 and 2. So there is no need to do the row penalty as well as column penalty. We just have to see which is the least value and we have to do the allocation. So among 3 and 2, the least value is 2. So I will select this cell for allocation. So the demand is 20 and the supply is 40. So the least value is 20. So I will allocate that 20 and deduct that 20 from 40. So 40 minus 20 is 20. As I have given everything here, I will just strike off that column. So the remaining cell is 30. I will start allocation. So the demand is 20 as well as the supply is 20. Both are same. So I will allocate that 20. So I will strike off this column as well as this row. So as I said in previous videos, so at the end of the allocation, you have to get the same demand and same supply. Then only our answer will be right. So this is all about how to do the row penalty and column penalty, how to select the values when the values of row penalty and the column penalty are same. Okay, so the next procedure is to calculate the transportation cost, which means we have to multiply the units with amount. Transportation cost is equals to 1 into 20 plus 1 into 10 plus 3 into 20 plus 2 into 20 plus 1 into 10 plus 2 into 20. So we have to multiply. 1 into 20 is 20, 1 into 10 is 10, 3 into 20 is 60, 2 into 20 is 40, 1 into 10 is 10, 2 into 20 is 40. So we have to add all together. 20 plus 10 plus 60 plus 40 plus 10 plus 40 is 180. So this is the transportation cost. So I hope you all like this video. If you like this video, do subscribe to the Kingmakers and share this with your friends. Thank you all.